Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. My name's Amber and I upload beauty and true crime content. If you're the type of videos that you like to watch, then why not hit that subscribe button and come along and join our little family. And now we can get into today's Missing Monday, and I'm super excited to be back with another case for you guys after taking a little bit of a break last week. I did upload one video last week just explaining to you what's sort of going to be happening with my channel, but with all the news that I'd sort of had and not being very well with my tooth and everything, I just needed to take a little bit of a break for that week. But I'll be back this week with the schedule that I set out last week. Anyway, I just want to get into this case because I'm so excited to be back doing another one of these. And today we're going to be talking about the disappearance of Jason Jolkowski, who has been missing now for over 19 years. Jason Anthony Jolkowski was born on June 24th in 1981 in Grand Island, Nebraska. At the time that he disappeared, he was a part-time student in the radio broadcasting program at Iowa Western Community College in College Buffs, and he worked at a local Italian-American restaurant which was called Vanzoli's. It was reported that Jason had planned to become a radio DJ for KIWR, and his mother described him as a shy and quiet boy with only a small handful of friends, and he was not in a relationship. He didn't have a girlfriend. On June 13th of 2001, Jason had a day off from work, but he was actually called in due to his work being short-staffed. Jason had planned to walk to work because his vehicle was actually in the garage getting fixed. Kindly, one of his co-workers actually offered him a ride, so instead of walking, he decided he was going to take this offer. Jason was having trouble in explaining directions to his house to his co-worker, so they decided to meet at Benton High School, which both of them had previously attended because both of them knew where that was. The school was half a mile from Jason's home. Before he left to meet his co-worker, Jason actually decided that he wanted to tend around and do some of his chores that he had to do. He was, you know, helping around the house along with his younger brother, and one of the chores that he had to do was to take out the trash. So around 10:45 AM, the neighbour actually saw him taking the trash cans out. The same neighbour also recalled Jason carrying a red t-shirt, which was his red work t-shirt, but sadly this was the last time that Jason was ever sighted. So around an hour later, between 11:15 and 11:30, his co-worker was starting to get a little bit increasingly worried because obviously she'd arrived and Jason was nowhere to be seen at Benton High School. So shortly after his disappearance, they actually checked the school security cameras and there was no footage of him arriving at the school, so it was like he'd never been there. Jason did have learning difficulties, which were particularly around his speech and language. The disabilities may have made him appear mildly mentally disabled, but actually he was of above average intelligence. Jason has never been heard from again. He had around $650 in his bank account at the time of his disappearance, and this has never been touched. He also hasn't cashed any of his paychecks. He hasn't used his cell phone or an ATM along with his bank card. He hasn't picked up his car from the auto repair shop. He was supposed to start a new job a week after he vanished, and he was very excited about it, but he never showed up to begin work there. He had no more than $60 on himself when he disappeared, and there were no personal items missing from his room, so it seems very unlikely that he sort of just up and left. His loved ones do suspect that there could possibly be foul play involved. They say that he is too responsible to have left without warning, and to his family, he wasn't having any issues at the time of his disappearance. He was described as a shy person. He wasn't really involved in any trouble. He wasn't involved with drugs or alcohol, and he was close to his family. He didn't have any known enemies. A police officer who was actually investigating Jason's disappearance described this case as one of the most baffling cases he had seen in over 30 years. His mother actually did go on to found Project Jason, which was a non-profit organisation in Jason's honour. It helped to assist families of missing people along with helping to publicise missing people cases, and this was after Jason had vanished. In 2005, his parents were also lobbying for a law which was called Jason's Law. It was actually passed by Nebraska legislature, and it provided a statewide database for any missing persons. Kelly, who was Jason's mother, later received a Volunteer for Victims Award from the US Attorney General Eric Holder in 2010, and Nebraska Governor's Point of Light Award in 2014 for recognition of her help to support families of missing people. For unknown reasons, the Project Jason site is now down. It seems to be offline. but no one knows why. His case remains unsolved and has now been unsolved for over 19 years. Wow, this is so odd, and I totally agree with the police officer's statement of it being baffling, because literally the distance between the school and his home was so little. It's crazy how he can have just gone in such a small like time period as well. To me, I side on the side of the family that I do feel like this was possibly foul play. To me, it seems like he's possibly been snatched off the street, or lured maybe. I just genuinely don't think he seemed like the type to run away. Stranger things have happened, I do know that, but I feel like that is highly unlikely in this case. But in any scenario, I just want closure for the family. And by doing these videos, that's what I hope to achieve, because you never know what might trigger someone, a memory in someone of who might have been a witness to something that happened on that day. So that's why I'm trying to get as many of these missing persons cases out there as I can. I will leave any information regarding who to get in contact with if you have any information on Jason's disappearance down below. And that's it for this one, guys. I thank you so much for watching this video, and I shall see you in the next one. Mwah, thanks so much for watching.